Hey guys, welcome to the show. And today is a very interesting topic that we're going to be discussing. It's 100% based on a post that I put out there on social media. I wanted to test the waters and see what fans are thinking about South African cricket currently. And I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to also see what fans' reactions are and compile them into one particular place. And that's on the show where I'm going to read out all the responses, particularly from our Facebook page. There was a hell of a lot of responses from the Facebook reaction was crazy on this particular topic. And the question that I'm asking is what frustrates fans the most about South African cricket at the moment? And I put out a post on Facebook on Friday just to test the waters and see what the fans are thinking. And I wanted to give it some time to settle and give it a weekend for people to discuss it before I actually read out what the reactions are like, because it's going to give us obviously a feel and an understanding of really what the situation currently is when it comes to the South African fans and what they feel. So today's show is going to be dedicated 100% to that. And it's important that we do give this particular topic some airtime and give it some attention, because we're going to go in detail into the different aspects of this particular post and see what fans actually said and how much depth they went into when they were trying to explain what is actually going wrong with South African cricket and what they are fed up or upset about when it comes to South African cricket. Now, I'm also going to also give you a quick update as well on what happened this weekend in the cricket space, in the cricket world. There are a couple of games that took place in the cricket world, so I'm going to be also updating you guys on that as well. So yeah, let's get straight into today's show and discuss this particular topic. I think it's important. I see Lawrence has already been active in the live chat, giving his thought processes and what he thinks about it. But before we get going, I would like you guys to please subscribe and click that notification bell for all future videos. Please, very important that you do so. I'd also like you guys to please download Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly and subscribe to the magazine. It's 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. Link is on the screen as well as in the description. And if you are a business looking to market your business effectively and affordably to a cricket audience, whether it be your products, your services, or your new business that you're starting, then please join the Cricket Fanatics Magazine Business Corner, where you will get an opportunity to have a conversation with us, and we can help you build a marketing system or insert a marketing system into your business to help you to help you use digital publishing to effectively afford your to effectively promote your business and market your business to a cricket audience. So go ahead and click on the link in the description, and the link also flashed on your screen right now. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. A very good evening and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host, Khalid Mohidin. This is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. And today I'm going to be covering a specific topic. It is based off our post that we posted on Facebook to see what the reaction of cricket fans are. And this is a show if you're interested in seeing what fans have had to say. Just 2 seconds, I had to say about what's frustrating them in about South African cricket. 2 seconds, guys. Just have to post something. Okay. Yeah, if you want to see what fans have had to say and what the reactions were on social media and on particularly Facebook, where we had the best reaction was possibly on Facebook. That's where we got the most responses regarding this particular topic. So I'm going to start, before I get there, I'm going to start first and foremost with giving you guys a quick update on what has happened in the CSA T20 Challenge so far, or what happened in the CSA T20 Challenge this weekend. So starting on Friday, we saw a magnificent century, in the first century of the CSA T20 Challenge, from Ruben Herman. He's backed up that 90 that he scored for Western Province, against Western Province, sorry, with 100 against the Tuskers. They completely destroyed the Tuskers. They scored 207 for 4 in their 20 overs, and Ruben Herman scored 102 or 54 balls, including 11 fours and 3 sixes. And he put on a very good partnership of 142 runs with Mikael Prince, who scored 58 of 34 balls, 5 fours and 5 fours and 3 sixes. So that was quite a fantastic performance from the pair. I think they batted really nicely together, and they batted with authority, and they were extremely aggressive in their approach. I wouldn't say, okay, they're not extremely aggressive. I think it was level-headed, but you can say definitely very attacking and very aggressive from the both of them. And it's what we want to see from a youngster as well, in Mikael Prince. I think he's having a good season this time around and really showing his ability in both formats. He didn't really have a great second half of the season in the 4-day competition, but he's really improving his cricket all around, and he's really becoming a very matured player as a whole. And I think it's very important that players like him, they continue this form and they learn from every single season that they play. So the Northwest ended up winning the game by 125 runs. They bowled KZN for another total under 100, which is 82. The Lions then took on the Titans in the Jessica Derby. Lions managed to score defendable 183 for 5 after being 54 for 4, with Vian Mulder top scoring again with 48 for 32 balls, really putting on a great performance. But there was cameos at the back end from Mitchell van Buren and Delano Potgieter. 37 of 27 from Mitchell van Buren and 32 of 15 from Delano Potgieter. That really took the game to it. That really took the Lions to a defendable total ultimately. So they ended up obviously with 183 for 5. And that was besides Rivaldo Munsami, who's been having a very good season this season in all formats, he put on another performance with the bat in this particular game. 88 of 52 balls. He was the only one that really scored runs, 6 fours and 6 sixes, and they fell short of the total. Actually, just short by 1 run. So a very close game for the Lions, but they continued their winning streak. Then the Rocks versus the Dolphins. The Dolphins are in picking up another victory. It was a low-scoring affair. The Rocks scored 125 for 8. And Prinlan Sabrayan, Otniel Batman, Ukule Kele, and Darren de Pavlin all contributed with 2 wickets. Michael Copeland showed some resistance and fight. He scored 35 of 30 balls, but it wasn't enough to take them to a winning total. The Dolphins chased on the target within 14.3 runs. Grant Rulerson was the top scorer with 71 of 45 balls, 8 fours and 2 sixes. And then the only wicket to fall was Bryce Parsons, who contributed 47 of 36 balls, 5 fours and 1 six. And the Dolphins completed their second win of the tournament with a dominant 9-wicket victory. And then we had the games on Sunday, which was very interesting. We had the Warriors staying on top of the log with another victory of 32 runs, DLS method. We had rain-affected games all around the country. It was a super over match between the DP World Lions and Western Province, but a weird super over match in the end because it was affected twice. So it was a reduced score that the Lions needed to get, which they fell 1 run short of. They obviously equaled the total and then went into a super over. And then it was a very crazy super over in the end. Kwena Mapaka actually held his nerve, and he actually ended up defending the 10 runs that Lions put on the board, which is incredible. Because it was a weird one for me that Kyle Verreynne went out to bat with George Linder. I would have maybe done something differently there, perhaps. But the captain obviously putting the senior players in, and they've gone in there and they try to win that game. And I mean, initially, Wayne Parnell did decently to reduce them to just 10 runs, but in the end, um, they fell short of the target. They only managed 9 for their side, Calverain and George Linda. And now Western Province were defeated for the first time in the tournament, and the Lions continued their winning streak. So it's a little bit of an unfair one, I would say. Um, the Warriors batted first in their match, though, and to continue their streak, and they posted 165 for 6 after winning the toss against the Rocks. And Jefferson Pille was again in top form with a top score of 45 not out, and Patrick Kruger was unbeaten with 29. Then the 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 Rocks had to chase a revised target in the 17 overs, um, and were bowled out for 117 in the 16.4 overs. Clive Fontaine and Cristiano Hunker both scored 33s. And that meant that the Warriors kept their 100% scoring record and 19 points on the log, 2 clear of the Lions. So it was a fantastic performance there. And then in the Durban match between Dolphins and Dragons, it was abandoned after 13.2 overs. So that was a quick summary of what happened there. And then obviously we know that Team SA, they're currently playing as well against Kenya, but they played against the host Ghana in the Africa Games, and George van Heerden scored a massive century, a maiden century for him in the format, and he put the team into a good position. Crazy amount of runs they scored. They He scored 107 of 57 deliveries, and Team SA posted 237 for 2 after letting to bat first. They then restricted the host to 103 for 7 to win that match. And like I said, they play in Kenya today, and then the next match will be on Wednesday, the 20th of March, against Uganda. So that is a quick update of all the games that took place, at least for you guys. So now it's time to get into the crux of the show and what we think should get changed. What do we think frustrates us the most about South African cricket? So I'm going to start off with you guys in the live chat before I show you what was said on Facebook. Lauren says lack of transparency between CSA and the public. The rigid targets system in our domestic game, which allows players who featured in SA20 to sit on the bench during the CSA T20 challenge, as an example. Lawrence also says not marketing our domestic game outside of SA20. CSA could care less about getting their product out into the public. Fans on Twitter are the ones marketing the domestic game more, and us over here as well at Cricket Fanatics. CSA interviewing into matter pertaining selectors is also an issue, especially at ICC. Interviewing into matters intervening into matters pertaining to selectors is also an issue, especially at the ICC events. Lawrence also says they also never seem to take accountability when things go wrong. It's always certain factors other than them that's the issue. So Lawrence explaining what he says and what he thinks and what he feels about that situation. Burbick says poor marketing and promotion of SA cricket, of domestic cricket. SA20 seems to be well promoted. I live outside of SA, so not sure how accurate this is. You are right, but we are talking about budgets. With the SA20, the budgets that they have for advertising and the big sponsor that they have with the Betway and everything, the amount of money that's coming in there to advertise, it's ridiculous compared to what CSA has available to advertise. So I do understand the struggle a bit from that perspective, and I'm not making excuses. More needs to be done with regards to that. I mean, even if it comes to us, they could be using Cricket Fanatics as an opportunity to advertise and market effectively and affordably to a cricket audience. They don't have to spend millions on an advertising campaign. We've recently started the business corner for that, exactly for people to get in touch with us so that they can market their business effectively and affordably. And I mean, there are options available for anybody, and even CSA can get involved and not spend massive money on an advertising budget just to promote this particular event. So more needs to be done with regards to that, definitely. Burbick says Test cricket needs to be prioritized. I agree with you. I'm a big fan of it, of Test cricket particularly, and it's quite interesting that they have allowed a situation to unfold like the SA20, like what happened with the SA20. So that's a very serious point. Lauren's talking about Vian Mulder should definitely be in the second all round in our World Cup squad. He's been magnificent form. Marco, my two all-rounders for the squad. Interesting point there. Bryce saying came in late, but they just shoot themselves in the foot all the time. SA20 massive success followed by zero follow-up on CSA T20 and an embarrassing low turnout as a result. We need to understand that as well, that CSA don't have full control of the SA20 and the way it's marketed. That is fully the SA20 itself and their budgets and their sponsors that are obviously fully involved with regards to that, and the franchises itself. There needs to be a way that we can increase the marketing budgets of our domestic cricket so that we can market it better to the public. We try our best to do so as much as possible, and try to give as much coverage of everything locally, domestically. But we also need that help, because we also ourselves we need a budget to be able to fully give in enough effort into that, and putting in money with regards to that. I mean, we are not making crazy money over here. We're making about just about we're not making the amount of money that SA20 is making, for example. So we can't necessarily pump in crazy amount of promotional money into domestic cricket without some help from CSA or from other companies as well. So they need to think about what they're going to do with regards to that, and how they're going to raise funds, and how they're going to use the funds correctly. Because whether they're going to use it on development or whether they're going to use it on promotion of domestic cricket is a difficult thing. They don't see 100% of the profit when it comes to the SA20. They only see a portion of it, and they have to decide what they're going to do with that money. Lack of cohesiveness in general means we have a squad that is a fraction a friction most of the time, and that's echoed in the game play and support. Too much focus on politics, not enough winning. Springboks are a great example of where we should be. You can't compare the two. It's very, very different. And it's a topic that I cover a lot, and I have covered a lot on this channel. The ideas of transformation and stuff like that has been come up a lot. And we'll probably see that come up a lot when I show you guys the comments that were made on Facebook. Wesley says, how could CSA send such a weak team to a competition which was for official international status? We just got embarrassed by Kenya. Hey. Is that game done now? I was tracking it. Let me have a look quickly what happened in that match quickly. It's mental that's actually what we had to. I can't believe it. I actually can't believe it. We were bowled out for 71, really. That's embarrassing. Now, yes, it is a very inexperienced team. It's shocking, actually. I don't know what the thought process was about sending a university emerging side there. Um, I guess they felt that the CSA T20 challenge, for example, is a lot more important for our more senior players, given that it's a World Cup year. So the fact that obviously IPL players are not going to be available, majority of the players are going to be playing the CSA T20 challenge to increase that. So that's also probably why, because of the IPL players leaving and trying to keep the standard of the CSA T20 challenge um, at a decent level. Plus this Division Two cricket. So I guess that they didn't want to throw, because it's kind of the last tournament to decide whether you're going to be promoted or not or relegated. So it's an important tournament, the CSA T20 Challenge, and I think a lot more important actually than the Africa Games. To be honest with you, that's how I feel at least about it. I know you're supporting your country and it's the Africa Games, but I think the CSA T20 Challenge Division Two status is a lot more important for some of these teams than keeping their team up in the division or getting them promoted will be a lot more important. And also, as well as the level of cricket that is going to be played at the CSA T20 Challenge, I think that um, a lot of these players are a lot of these franchises obviously need these players to perform and to be available, because obviously the IPL players have left. So they were caught between a rock and a hard place on what team they were going to send. And yeah, it's shocking actually that we couldn't send a better team at least. We could have had those players playing the CSA T20 Challenge, for example, and then actually have a decent team go to the Africa Cup. But I mean, yeah, it counts as international status and international debuts, which is crazy. The CSA social media and marketing should be more professional. We should learn from Australia and how they operate their social media. To be honest, even a child can do a better job than CSA admin. It's because the admin changes so much, and not always is it a fully fledged team that stays there. I think consistently. Um, it's different people doing the job all the time. I don't know if they've changed that now and they maybe improved that. Another issue from my point of view is how the colored players get more ignored at domestic and national level. The missing middle, I'd say that tells me the target system needs work. So let me get into what was said on Facebook. I think it's very much worthwhile to show you guys what took place over here. So we had, you guys are going to be a little bit shocked. I don't know how shocked you're going to be. Um, how do I do this now? Um, ah, let me see how I'm going to share this with you, because there's over 237 comments on Facebook. I'm probably going to just skim through them. I'm not going to show you all of them. That will be crazy for us to go through every single one of them. So I'm going to skim through them and kind of show you guys. Um, I'm going to show you guys some of the comments that were made and share the screen with you now quickly. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm just trying to get it to work. So I'm gonna try and get you guys to um, see what they actually said with regards to the. It's quite crazy. So just give me 2 seconds. I'm going to share that screen with you now. Okay. So let me just close that. Okay. So let me just show you quickly what was happening on Facebook quickly. Um, yeah, so this is like a nightmare. Why is everything so suddenly so slow? Everything's taking so slow. Let me just read some of your comments along while it's loading. Um, Kanye says decreasing the transformation target to 4 will massively strengthen our domestic tournament. You are quite spot on over there. Um, I, for me personally, with regards to the targets, I mean, understand fully why they have implemented them, because the need to speed up the process, sorry, is important for South African cricket, of course. But I do think sometimes they need to be a little bit considerate or a little bit considerate about the rules and stuff like that, especially when certain unfair things start happening. You know, um, there are certain cases where things are a little bit unreasonable and things are forced. And I think that having a little bit more flexible transformation target system could be the future for South African cricket, personally. So let me just show you what has been said on Facebook. Like I said, there has been, as you can see, 235 comments were made on this post. So obviously, I'm not going to go through all of them, um, but I'm going to go through the most engaging comments, kind of the most relevant ones. So Hamad Kanzada said, early retirement of legend player like AB and de Kock. I don't know if that is frustrating necessarily. Those players made those decisions, and I think no matter what CSA said or did, I don't think it's CSA's issue, and I don't think it's CSA that made them retire early. To be honest with you, I think those players also just felt the way they felt. Lauren, Lawrence Brink says our inconsistency in all formats, our inability to adapt when touring, and CSA lack of respect for Test cricket. Now, that is something that has bothered me. Definitely has bothered me. I do think that the disrespect for Test cricket has been something that did irk me quite a bit. I spoke about it quite lengthy on this channel and on the show about how terrible it was that we had to give up, that we had to sacrifice our Test nation against New Zealand, a strong New Zealand team as well, where we had an opportunity to really beat them if we had our first team there, I feel. So the fact that were forced into that situation, it wasn't a choice by us, it was a forced situation at the end of the day that we put ourselves in. And even though I understand that the SA20 is important and that we need it for the development of or for the improvement of South African cricket and the popularity of the sport and for money, I do feel that some agreement and arrangement needs to be made when it comes to this, particularly when it comes to the SA20 and what it, um, how it's going to affect our system and how it's going to affect our sport and how the money is going to be divided as well is also very important. We've got Vanessa van der Walt that says, what about the coastal system? Is that right? What happened here now? No, I don't want to respond to anybody. Sean actually saying the whole system of quotas from the bottom up. We cannot compete at the top when below we are playing weak cricket in provincial club and school setups. Now, Wesley saying as a response, Holly, I don't know if you agree, but I think a bit of passion went out of SA cricket after the 2015 final saga. CSA never said that right. They swept what happened to Philander under the carpet. To be honest with you, it shouldn't have been Vernon Philander as the issue. Wasn't the issue there? I mean, he actually bowled okay in that final. Dale Steyn was the issue, actually, if we talk about it. He was the most expensive bowler in that particular tournament. And Kyle Abbott should have played instead of the Dale Steyn if they wanted to drop someone. And that's where the quotas become an issue, because those bold decisions won't be made because now the government or the government gets involved with certain decisions, and then or the sports ministers get involved with certain decisions about the transformation targets. Because remember, rugby also has transformation targets. The difference between South African rugby and South African cricket is that the rugby produces a lot more players of color. It's a lot easier for you to go into the township and go into poorer communities where majority of the people of color are sitting, right? And to go find a young talent that can play rugby over cricket. You don't need as much investment from a monetary value from money perspective when it comes to investing in a child to play rugby as you do to play cricket. That's just the facts. That's just the reality of life at the moment. So to give one person of that's less fortunate an opportunity in cricket costs triple the amount of money that it will cost a person in rugby. So that's currently the problem within our system when it comes to transformation. Lee Joe Fortain says not enough test cricket. I agree with you there. Lack of test cricket. I agree with you there. Delaware says not enough test matches. There's a T20 World Cup ahead in June. When was the last time the Proteas played a T20 match? Will there be enough time to prepare for the tournament? And that's why the CSA T20 challenge has been emphasized. The SA20 has been emphasized as an opportunity for players to put up their hand for the T20 World Cup. Now, we play T20 series against West Indies ahead of the World Cup, but I don't feel that it's maybe enough. At least the players will get the IPL to get themselves ready for that. Stuart Judge is 100% a lack of test cricket. I don't like these 3 or 4 test series. And with 2 test match series, that's also irritating for me. We only play 2 test matches in a series. It's madness. What happened to the 3, 4, 5 matches in the test series? These 5-match ODI series and 3 to 4 match T20 series do make money, but it hinders techniques with batters. Definitely does. I've been a massive advocate of promoting 4-day cricket, but you have to admit as well, it costs more money to host a test match and to host 4-day cricket than it does for the shorter formats. So the return on investment is a lot higher when it comes to the shorter formats, which I understand as well. Andre Cronier says CSA have managed by the best South African cricket loving, proven competent board that played for our cricket and the best informed, fit, and mentally strong players on merit. Ntapaseng Mosegle says how the players excel in their respective teams, but when it gets to national team, it's a disaster. New talent taking time to be called for national duty. National team not playing enough games. The levels between the two formats between domestic cricket and international cricket is quite massive, particularly in the red ball format. So when talents perform domestically, they look a lot better actually than that they are. Unfortunately, that will happen. Certain players will be doing that. That's why you need to look at what is being done at domestic level. Are the right things being done at domestic level that can be repeatable at international level? That's how you need to kind of look at it. So there's certain aspects in the game that doesn't change no matter what level you play. So for example, with bowlers, putting the ball on a good spot consistently over time is something that is with you whether you play international cricket or domestic cricket. For example, with batters, it's a lot harder. So you need to look at the batters' confidence in their technique, solid defense, ability to leave. I think those are 3 things in red ball cricket that you maybe can look at. Then another thing that you have to look at as well is the ability to be able to score big scores and convert 50s into 100s, 100s to 150s. If you are able to do that at the domestic level, at least that is a bare minimum, should be the bare minimum of you showing signs that you are a top player. It will make the transition a lot easier when you get into international cricket. So those type of things need to be also looked at when it comes to the domestic level. We can't just be looking at stats and just be looking at how much runs a player scored in a season. There needs to be a much more in-depth analysis on each player. Muhammad Ali Sal says politics-driven selection of national squad. Our squad is driven by the quota system. Um, Quota system at domestic level, 2, lack of test cricket. And obviously, we've gotten some replies over here. Pavuma should never been captain. Aiden Markram led SA under 19 to World Cup victory and now back to back beat to a SA20 wins. But yet, he'll be overlooked for captain. He is the captain currently for T20, so he hasn't been overlooked. So that's a little bit of a lie. He should have never been T20 captain, yes. ODI captain, I tend to disagree. They should at least win the ODI World Cup. My frustration will stop. That they choke, says Graham. Stephen Duplessis says CSA board under Lawson Naidu examples. The handling of the bending of the knee for the BLM saga at the World Cup caused Quentin de Kock to withdraw. Must have demotivated the team and put a lot of unnecessary stress on Captain Bavuma. Handling of the under 19 captaincy issue and not protecting its own. Throwing Bavuma under the bus a couple of times. If you want a captain to perform on the international stage, he needs not only the support of his teammates, but also the support of management, which he did have, to be fair. Players have all seemed to back Bavuma and like what he said. So obviously, there's a hell of a lot of comments over here that was made. Azibota over here, who's a top fan, says, while the fact that we see great talented players in the SA20 Betway League, but not many upcoming players in the Proteas outfit, then why get Proteas get selected? Then why get Proteas selected if they don't play domestic cricket? How would CSA narrow the massive gap between school cricket, Colts, and under 19 cricket? As you hardly find a handful of under 19 players in a Youth World Cup, and probably would see better academic camps and preparations for the youngsters. As also, senior club cricket should be better utilized to breed under 19 players to create a proper standard and merit system for entering into the next stage, playlist A or first class cricket. So those are some of the comments that were made. You guys can go to the post and see a lot more. Like I said, there was over 237. I just picked out some of them to discuss. But you can see that there's a lot of frustrations with regards to the South African system, with regards to players, how players feel with regards to South African cricket. And it's something that we need to fix and we need to change. I'm glad that we got an opportunity now to expose this and on the channel and show you guys and communicate about certain things that are frustrating you guys. I don't have the answers for everything, of course. It's good to have an open method and discuss this. Grassroots level transformation into the schools needs to happen seamlessly, and we need to be able to give people opportunities with regards to transformation at the grassroots level into schools level, and try and uplift the poorer communities, particularly all around the country. It's very important that we try to do so and improve cricket and create that. I'm hoping that with the Cricket Fanatics Business Corner and by us helping small to medium enterprises gain more success, gain more sales, market the business effectively and affordably, and giving them a platform, building a platform for them to be able to market their business and increase their sales and increase their businesses and improve their businesses. I'm hoping that that's going to have a domino effect from the bottom up, a funnel effect from the bottom up, where a snowball effect from the bottom up. You know, snowballs don't roll up mountains, but at least we are trying to do some making miracles here. Whereas if we help the small to medium enterprise get more businesses, get access to a greater audience, improve their sales and their marketing, hopefully they'll be able to sponsor clubs, sponsor grassroots level, put some money into help them market, because these guys don't need massive marketing budgets like the Proteas need. So they will be able to get a small to medium enterprise to get on board with them, to market them, to build partnerships with them and help them out to increase their standards. Because if club cricket improves as well, school cricket improves, club cricket improves as well, clubs will be able to also be able to get more money into their systems and into their structures, create better fields, create better conditions, and also be able to get greater players, maybe perhaps pay a salary, small salaries, to give players an opportunity to become professional from a younger age. I think that will change the game forever and change South African cricket forever. But anyway, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I have to go get ready. A couple of things for tonight. Please subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell for all future videos, please. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow with another daily show. Stay safe, enjoy the rest of your evening, and peace out, everybody.